Hey, man, come over here, man. I need some help, man.
Yeah, man, I can dig that. You always seem to need my help. What's up?
Well, man, it's like this. I need you to work on something with me. Something big, man.
Oh, yeah, man, like what?
It's a project, like we're gonna help these dudes out. They need our help.
Okay, so what's it all about?
Well, it's like this. Last week I met with Mr. Big, down at Alice's restaurant. We got to talking about getting some work done for one of his organizations.
Mr. Big? Wow, man, who's this dude,
Oh,
man?
Mr. Big, he's like this dude with all this money. He has business dealings all over town.
Oh, I gotcha. He's a businessman. All right, Mr. Big.
Yeah, well, he's got one of his organizations, like he's got all sorts of them. He has a portfolio of them.
Portfolio? Wow, man, he's into photography? That's
Oh,
wild.
no, man, not like photography. It's a portfolio, what he calls programs, business programs.
Oh, I got you now, man.
Yeah, anyway, so he's got these programs. In one of them, there's work being done, projects are going on.
Projects? You mean like what, man? What kind of projects?
In his organizations, they're researching things, man. Medical records.
Oh, yeah, man, medical records. I can dig that. I've done that.
You did? Wow, that's cool. But look, anyway, one of his organizations need to make changes to one of their databases.
Databases are cool, man. I got one of those. I put all my phone numbers and stuff. Yeah, okay.
Okay, so anyway, I met with Mr. Big and we put together some notes, mostly on napkins, but I copied it later. Anyway, I put together a charter.
Wow, man, we're going fishing too? That's cool,
Oh,
man.
no, man, not a fishing charter, a project charter. It's just to initiate a project. You can read this and it'll tell you what the organization needs to do and then what the project is for, to do it.
Oh, yeah, man, I got you now. It's like got the problem in it, and it has what else?
Well, it's got the problem, it's got what basically needs to be done, and then it names the project manager. And that's me, man. I'm the project manager. And it's got the benefits and what the project will create, yeah. And it's signed by the sponsor, Mr. Big.
Oh, cool. So that's it. We're ready to start.
No, man, I had to do way more than that. I had to create a business case,
Wow, a business case. That's where you put the charter?
No, man, not like a case you carry around. A business case justifies the project. It describes the problem and what can be done and shows some alternative ways of fixing the problem. But we recommend what we think is the best one. And it allows me to start spending the project funds, like hiring you, man. Yeah, so we got the issue, we got the problem, we have some outcomes too, and we got some recommendations, how to fix the problem, and any impacts to the organization with some stuff about the goals, the objectives, and performance and milestones, and analysis and stuff like cost and benefits on how this thing will help out the organization's strategy. Like that kind of thing. It's all there, right in one document, the business case.
I like that. So what now?
Well, now you and I will review some more stuff, man, like the work to be done, but first we got to make sure that we get done what needs to be done first.
Okay, so what needs to be done first?
Well, to make sure that no dudes start messing us up when we're working on this stuff, man, we got to make sure we know who all the players are,
Players? Like who the dudes are that the project might affect. Is
Yeah,
that what you
man,
mean?
yeah, man, you're starting to catch on. These dudes, and by the way, includes me and you, are called stakeholders.
Stakeholders? Well, man, like what kind of steak, man? I like mine rare.
No, man, not the steak you eat, man. A stakeholder has a stake invested in the project. And, like they all got a say in what happens, so we got to make sure we know who they are. Got it?
Sure, man. The players, okay, I see it now.
Okay, so now we got the players, we got the business case, and we got to start to plan out the project, man. So I created a repository where we're going to put all the documents. And that, well, we're only going to have one version at a time to work on, man, so we're on the same page.
Oh, cool, man, a repository. That's real cool.
Okay, so we're going to have some way of managing all the changes to our documents. So we're going to make sure we're only going to make the changes if they make sense or if they're absolutely needed, and we're going to make sure that we agree to them all.
Okay.
So we're going to use change control, man. We have the organization's top guys sitting in the change control board, man, and these guys, along with me, will review the changes that I think are needed.
Cool.
And then we'll have them all documented so we agree or disagree on the change.
Right on.
Then we're going to tell all the stakeholders of the approved change, man, just in case one of them has an issue with it. And so, like there's no surprises.
Oh, man, I hate surprises. Like the other day I was walking
Oh,
out.
hey, man, you got to stay with me.
Oh, yeah, sorry, man. Sorry.
Yeah, so then let's talk about the scope.
Oh, shoot. Sorry, man. I forgot to brush my teeth. I knew there was something I forgot.
No, man, not that kind of scope. This is a scope, looking through a telescope. You only see one small area. That scope, the project will deal with only the area we plan so that we're not constantly adding new things. And in the area, there will be the requirements for getting the project done. So we're going to gather the requirements and write them all down in the requirements document. Then we prioritize them. Then we're going to see what is most needed. This is where we start planning the project. Then later on, we verify the scope, get approval for it from the top dudes. I'll show you some of the stuff, man, like the network diagram and the scope statement, and that's where all the really heavy stuff is. It's got all the details on how the requirements are to be handled, like what the constraints are, man. That's the scope. And then the deliverables and exclusions, then under what criteria they're acceptable. And of course, the risks.
Yeah, that makes sense. I hate doing things I don't want to do if they aren't needed. Like, why fold your underwear? That's just
Man,
dumb.
why are
right?
you always going off the subject? You gotta stick with me here, man, okay? I got these together through some workshops, man, and facilitated meetings with the users and the administrators. Then they all helped out, and we did some brainstorming and some other stuff, so I got them done.
Whoa, sorry, man. I'm with you. Go on.
Okay, so now I'm going to tell you what the requirements are and what I've done to address them, man. Like the things that will need to be done. I got all these written down, man, in the traceability matrix.
Hey, I saw that movie. That was so
Oh,
spooky.
no, man, not a movie, a document, man. The matrix shows what the requirements are needed and what document has the information about what the work is to be done on them.
Oh, yeah, that would be cool. It's like an index or
Oh,
something. Yeah,
wow,
an
man.
index.
Hey, wow, man. Now you got it.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, man. Now, come on, let's move on, because we only got 10 minutes today, so we got to kick it some.
Okay, man, let's do it. Don't let me hold you up.
So now we're going to set the schedule, man. Plan out when all this is going to happen.
Oh, yeah, right, a schedule. Cool. I had one of those in school, though, I probably didn't use it
Stop
much.
it, man. Stop it. Just stay with me, okay?
Oh, yeah, sorry, man.
So the schedule is a roadmap for how the project will be executed. The schedule management plan defines the approach our team will use to create the schedule.
Cool.
This plan will have all the info on how to monitor the schedule and manage any changes after the baseline schedule has been approved. So it's going to be, the how-to on identifying, analyzing, documenting, prioritizing, approving, or rejecting, and publishing all the schedule-related changes, man.
Oh, wow, that's really deep, man. That's some heavy stuff, man.
So yeah, we're going to get the other dudes I got in mind for this, and we're going to go over the schedule and the activities we're going to do, to get the requirements done. Yeah, so now we create the deliverables, what we agree we're going to be doing so that these deliverables are put together in packages, man, work packages. And these packages are going to help communicate what needs to be done and when to the upper level management dudes, man. So we got to look at the sequence and the activities, how long each one will take, the duration. But we can't pad any of them, man.
No.
And then we assign them to the project resources. Cool. And then we create the work breakdown structures, man. And it's where all the activities are put on the schedule.
Wow, man, I like these work package things.
Yeah. So now that's done and we all agreed on the proposed work package assignments, man, durations and schedule. Now it all goes to Mr. Big. And if he likes it and approves it, well, then the schedule, it's baseline.
Wow, man, baseline. This all sounds so organized. That's just awesome.
Of course, that's why we do these things up front, man. It's better to plan ahead than fall behind, We're going to get the stuff done on time and on budget.
Cool.
And that way we can control the schedule. We'll get together every couple of weeks in the war room, man. We thrash out any changes, and we'll tell everybody based on the communication plan.
But what happens if something goes wrong, man? We start falling behind.
Well, man, here's the thing. We'll crash it, man. We'll crash the schedule.
Oh, yeah, man, I've done some good crashing. Just yesterday, I was watching some TV, and I just crashed
no,
for the
man,
afternoon.
not that kind of crashing, man. This is when we get all our dudes together and we start doing more activities at the same time, So we catch up and get back on schedule, man. I've done it lots of times. Sometimes I fast track, but not too often.
Wow, dude, you're really experienced at this.
Yeah, man, well, that's the experience. That's how I was able to estimate things, My judgment. I've done lots of estimations, man, from dealings before. I can do all sorts of kinds, like 3-point estimations, analogous estimations, parametric, order of magnitude and Monte Carlo.
Oh, yeah, man, I've seen that. It's where all the rich guys play poker.
Oh, no, man, not for poker, man. Nothing is left for a chance. It's all about using the right tool for the right job, man. Hey, we got to move on now. Now we're gonna talk about the dinero, man.
The what, man?
You know, the money, man. We gotta be careful and not spend it too fast, you know? The budget is the budget, and we gotta only spend what we allocate, or we're gonna have some corrective actions to take, man, if it's messed up.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, corrective actions. Like what?
Well, man, you know, it all depends. You know, maybe we're going to come back on something or we're going to reschedule something along the way. We won't know until we run the variance reports, man.
Variance reports? What's variance reports?
Okay, yeah, man. Those guys, you know, they're based on the work on cost aggregation, you know? Put in all the things we're going to pay into for the budget, man, the cost budget. Then when the work is underway, man, we look at how much we have to spend against how much we have spent, and we get the difference, man.
Cool.
We can be off by a little, but not by much, man, and we cannot be over budget.
Right on.
That's bad. Or behind schedule. That's bad too. But there's ways of predicting if this might happen, man. You know, like forecasting. It's in earned value and planned value, stuff like that, man, with some formulas that we're going to use to figure it all out. Hey, but don't worry, man. That's my gig.
Yeah, I see it now, like rent and food and stuff. I gotta pay for each month with what I have to spend, and if there's any left over, is that right?
Yeah, man, that's close, man. You almost got it. But
Right
with this,
on.
man, we got to do some other stuff. Some work in the work packages, man. The WBS ahead of time, man, with cost estimates. Like I told you earlier. Then we roll them all up into control accounts, man. And then later on, when we're doing the work, we're going to do some more checks, man. Like, how are we progressing, man? And are we getting our money's worth out of the work that's being done, man? We're going to use performance indexes.
Control accounts, performance indexes, that's heavy, man.
Yeah, man. Well, that's what we do, man. So then once we get all the estimation done, man, then we add in some contingency reverse, man.
Cool.
That's on the cost baseline. And then we get the cost baseline, we add in management reserves, man. And once that's done, we can present the cost to the big guys, man. You know, the control account costs, man, in a report.
Wow, man, what's all that other stuff for?
Well, man, it's like this. Should we start to get over on the spending because of something that we could not perceive or have it overcome, we can use a little contingency, you know, like having an extra 10 clams in your wallet, man.
Cool.
You can use it, but only if you really need to. Then there's the management reserves, man, but that is available only if the top guys will let us spend it. So it has to be something pretty bad, man, like, you know, a disaster strikes.
Right on.
So now you know what it's up, man. And hey, we'll take this up when we have more time, man. We'll get together next week, okay?
Yeah, man, that's cool.